Good evening and thanks for watching Times News with me, Eric Nsigeti. First, the headlines. University of Malawi Council holds a decision to delink its constituent colleges. Experts caution Malawians on use of home remedies in fighting COVID-19. And the COVID-19 pandemic hits hard on Malawi churches' coffers. We have this plus many other stories. Please do stay with us. In our first story this evening, University of Malawi Council has stayed its earlier decision to delink constituent colleges from the university. The decision to delink the university was made during an extraordinary meeting held on July the 10th, 2017. Jamison Chauruga has the latest.
The decision to delink University of Malawi's constituent colleges was received with mixed reaction. While others supported the idea, another section opposed the move outright. A memo from University of Malawi's office says during its 117th extraordinary meeting held virtually on January 20, 2021, the new council noted that the decision made by the area council in 2017 was wrong. The memo says the council then did not have powers to make such a decision. The memo, however, said the functional review will be conducted to guide the council on the way forward. The colleges under the University of Malawi are the Polytechnic in Blantyre, College of Medicine in Blantyre, Kamuzu College of Nursing, and the Chancellor College.
Doctors have cautioned Malawians on the use of home remedies such as steaming in the fight against COVID-19. The Society of Medical Doctors and the Ministry of Health sound the alarm as most Malawians perceive the remedy as a working treatment for the pandemic. But how effective are these remedies and concoctions, and who is supposed to take them? Feston Malegezo finds out.
We get the leaves, the blue gum leaves, and then we boil water. We add them together with water. After maybe 20 or 30 minutes, when the water is ready, we then start steaming.
The advent of the second wave of COVID-19 has seen most Malawians using homemade remedies and concoctions. These are, among others, things like ginger, black pepper, lemons, and many more. But how effective are these concoctions and remedies?
After steaming, we feel better. Yeah, we feel good.
President of the Society of Medical Doctors, Dr. Victor Miti, says there is no scientific backing to prove if the traditional mixtures work in as far as treating COVID-19 is concerned.
Right now, we have little backing from the scientific point of view as to whether those things work or not. We have seen from the observational point of view so that others are claiming that they have been helped through those means. We don't have a proper scientific backing to say this is what has helped people and this is what is not helping people.
In August 2020, Ministry of Health introduced guidelines on home-based management of persons with asymptomatic and mild COVID-19 symptoms as part of Malawi's response to the COVID-19 pandemic at community level. Among others, the ministry encouraged those with symptoms such as cough and flu to steam or use Vicks as dry air. In an interview, Secretary for Health Dr. Charles Mwansambo cautioned Malawians not to overdo the traditional remedies or concoctions which have no scientific backing but strive to eat healthy food. Both Miti and Mwansambo warn that there are both long and short-term effects if one is exposed to extreme hot steam and unprescribed home remedies. While the World Health Organization has welcomed innovation based on traditional remedies, it has remained skeptical, wanting scientific evidence before backing their use.
Religious institutions' income has dropped by 53.8% due to effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. An assessment by Malawi Interfaith AIDS Association and ACT Alliance shows the organization's board chair, Bishop Guilford Matonga, has told journalist Sinli Longwe many religious institutions are currently in financial difficulties as a result of the pandemic. Matonga has since appealed for government support. Matthews Kasanda has the details.
Bishop Matonga has appealed to the government to consider supporting the faith institutions.
Pay, others no pay at all. So that means the people that were giving to the church no longer are able to do so. But you may also remember that when people don't meet, there was a time when the churches stopped meeting. When people don't meet, means that the level of collection of offerings also goes down.
Bishop Matonga also appealed to religious leaders to desist from influencing people to neglect COVID-19 prevention measures, stressing that the measures are inspired by God.
We have seen COVID-19 taking away our loved ones. Very committed Christians. We have seen bishops pass on. Very respected bishops. It would be very, very bad for us to conclude that those people did not have faith at all. These are people that have done a lot of great things in the kingdom of God. And for us to speak like the way we've been speaking, it is showing a lot of ignorance on our side, not understanding what COVID-19 is all about, but it also very hating to the family members that have lost these loved ones.
In response to the financial bailout call, Presidential Advisor on Religious Affairs, Reverend Brian Kamwendo, said the proposal by the faith leaders was already presented to the government through the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19.
Due to COVID-19, even faith groups have also been highly affected economically. This particular proposal and request was also forwarded to the COVID-19 Presidential Task Force, and they're looking into it. And afterwards, after making assessment, they're going to be giving us a feedback.
The meeting was funded by the Global Fund Impact Mitigation Project.
The body of talented broadcaster and artist Ken Wako, popularly known as Ken Clips, will be laid to rest this Friday in Balaga. Malawi was dealt a heavy blow after Ken Clips' death at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital in Blantyre on Thursday morning. Sam Banda Jr. reports.
Times Group Editor-in-Chief George Kasagula described the death of Clips as a blow to the nation and the family of Times Group.
First of all, everybody here at Times, starting from the board and then management, as well as the staff. It's everyone, not just those that probably worked in the arts and entertainment, like you, Sam Banda, but everyone. We are in tears. We are saddened by the passing of Kenny Wako, otherwise known as Kenny Clips, for a simple reason that he was someone who was very, very talented. I think one of the best radio people. He wanted the best, and he was excited with the music, and because of that excitement, he infested everyone with the excitement of music. I can tell you some of the programs that we have, music programs that we have on both radio and TV, were inspired by him. Programs like the one that is done by Stevie Dagalila, the reggae one. And then even me, myself, he inspired me. He literally forced me to do a program because he would hear me speaking, singing old songs, and then he would say, why don't you do a program? And that was the beginning of Zozuna South Africa. It's because of Ken, and even in the early stages, he was the one literally putting it together. I would just do the voices and choose the music. He was putting together, and he would encourage me, and he would say such a song. I got calls. People loved this song from Zambia, Zamahara. They haven't heard it for quite a long time. So he was someone who was very good at what he was doing. But most importantly, Ken was the best radio producer.
Musician Kod Sangala, who worked with him at Power 101, said Clips contributed immensely to the growth of music in the country, and that he was shocked with his death.
Right, it's a big loss to the country, to the entertainment in Malawi, to broadcasting in Malawi. And I know Kenny Clips Wako as a broadcaster. Obviously we kind of pioneered FM 101, so he sort of like came after us, and he was a very hard-working young man, very dedicated. We're just laughing about with like a couple of friends who I know from my former radio station about how he was almost like a workaholic, always wanting to work. When shifts, people are not present for the shifts, you always take the shift without any complaint whatsoever. he really represented a very hard-working spirit, and it paid off because he really became his own. He grew into a mature and grown broadcaster, you know, until his time of death. And
Clips worked with a number of musicians and is also the brains behind MalawiMusic.com, which gave a platform to musicians in the country to, among others, sell their music online. As a DJ, he also represented the country in a number of platforms, including Big.
Mulungu wandichitira chozizwa chabwino moti panokwenda konzekera kukaperekera umboni mulungu wathu wabwino. Amen.
Takambanda sina
tsokolera ndakhanduka pemphera ndichipona chemapemphero moti adandiuza kuti ndisale kudya lasala apa nditapitaso adiuza kuti ndamasulidwa ndine mfulu moti ndisiye kumwa ma-ARV mwachikhulupiriro asi ndikasiya
masina ndakumva chikhulupiriro nchofunika kwambiri koma tikuyenera kutengapo udindo kuchitapo kanthu ino ndi simunganene kuti chifukwa chakuti mumakhulupirira Mulungu basi simudzamwaso madzi moyo wanu wonse. Madzi ndi kusiya kumwa ma-ARV ndi chimodzimodzi kusiya kumwa madzi.
Koma alidwe
nkhulupirira Mulungu masina koma pitirizani kumwa ma-ARV. Ma-ARV ndiofunika moyo wanu kubanja lanu komanso kuchikhulupiriro chanu.
Atsogoleri ndipitiriza kukhulupirira Mulungu komanso ndipitiriza kumwa ma-ARV.
Utengawu akukupatsirani nduna wa zaumoyo mogwirizana ndi CHAM ndi thandizo lochokera ku PEPFAR.
Let's taste new sensation.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Welcome back. The Department of Forestry has encouraged the use of giant bamboo as a natural alternative to biomass amid massive depletion of forests. Chief Forestry Officer Titus Zulu says communities can actually make charcoal out of the plant while at the same time protecting rivers. Audrey Kapalamula has the story.
Zulu made the remarks during a tree planting exercise along Lilongwe riverbank in partnership with the Lilongwe City Council and Feed the Future, where 100 giant bamboos and 200 tree seedlings were planted. He said there were plans to reach all the districts and reduce the effect of deforestation in the next 2 years.
Now we've had a big challenge in terms of deforestation. The rate of deforestation in Malawi is very high because of the demand for biomass energy in form of charcoal as well as firewood. This is what prompted the ministry to request from other partners like Feed the Future, which is being supported by USAID, to look at other alternatives, fast-growing plants or tree species. And it happened to be that giant bamboo is one of the major alternatives. which can actually supplement the charcoal and the firewood shortages in the country.
Feed the Future resilient
bamboo seedlings around the country as an alternative to firewood. As we know, our forest resources are dwindling over time, and we are promoting ecological restoration. So one way to do this is using the giant bamboo as an alternative to fuel wood. You can make charcoal out of it. It burns hotter. And as I said, it's not like a tree where you cut it down once and it doesn't grow back. This keeps coming back every year.
Director for the Department of Parks, Recreation and Environment at Lilongwe City Council, Alan Kwanjana, said the council will engage all the users of the Lilongwe River to ensure maximum protection of the planted trees. Human activities in Lilongwe River continue to threaten its sustainability despite being crucial to supply of water in the city.
A land dispute has ensued in Rompi as chiefs and civil society organizations are against the selling of Nkozo Farm by the Ministry of Lands at 1.5 billion kwacha. The government intends to sell the land to a foreign investor, which has not gone down well with the communities. Sale of the land was advertised on December 11, 2020, as Sam Kalimira reports.
One of the chiefs, sub-traditional authority Kawazamawe, said the land was taken by force from the locals by the government and was given to Malawian pioneers, which was never handed back. Kawazamawe said chiefs are surprised that the land which was grabbed from the locals is on sale, although people in the district are struggling to have arable land. This is one of the few isolated land wrangles in the northern region, as there have been massive sell-out of land in part of Kaningina Forest, which is a protected area whose case is yet to be resolved. Minister of Lands, Kesi Msugwa, said a number of investors have shown interest to buy Nkozo Farm, but the ministry will take its time by looking into the process to seal a win-win situation for both the government and the locals. Msugwa said his ministry planned to meet the locals this month, but expressed doubt following the new restrictions on gatherings due to COVID-19 pandemic. But Rompi CSO's Network Governance Chairperson, Jai Kanyondo, said the government did not consult the communities when coming up with the decisions to sell the land. People are given 21 days to communicate if they have intentions to purchase a land after a notice of sale of the land is floated as prescribed in the Land Act, Section 38.
And there was tension at Chinsapo in Lilongwe following a hike in minibus fares from 500 kwacha to 1,000 kwacha in reaction to COVID-19 preventive measures. In the morning, people resorted to walking from Chinsapo to the Central Business District, but the development angered minibus operators who were stopping people from using motorcycles or hiking private vehicles. Police are on the ground to monitor the situation. National Police spokesperson James Kadadzera explains more to our reporter Rebecca Chinchega.
As police, we are here to enforce these rules and regulations. It's a healthy issue. We don't want the disease to spread amongst Malawians. So we have all to make sure that we are controlling. We are doing our part in making sure that there is no excessive contact that may lead to a lot of positive cases as far as COVID-19 is concerned. So we are asking all Malawians to adhere to these set rules and regulations. They are simple rules and regulations, they have to be followed. But if they are not followed, the police will make sure that they enforce. As I'm talking to you, over 100 have already been arrested by the police, others for not wearing face masks, others for operating after 8 p.m. as far as bar and bottle store owners are concerned.
In other news, the Renewable Energy Industries Association of Malawi has expressed worry over tax policy inconsistency.
At Solar Aid Malawi General Manager Brave Muhone said his company was shocked by the decision by MRA.
And all this time, we have been importing these products without duty and VAT. It came to our surprise that the latest shipment of 12,000 products, we were asked to pay duty and VAT. At first we thought it was just an error, and we're going to be assisted in enough so that we can continue doing our work. Unfortunately, it came out that it was a serious issue, and MRA wrote us officially that we're supposed to pay duty and VAT on these solar lanterns.
RIEMA Executive Director Ron Kavina said his organization will engage the authorities on the policy inconsistencies.
We've been lobbying for VAT waiver removal on taxes on renewable energy equipment. So after this new government now, we are now receiving now from MRA that we are claiming back the taxes on renewable energy, which with the previous government it was already gazetted to say all renewable energy equipment has to go for duty-free waiver. So that is why we call upon all these stakeholders who are late prayers, renewable energy prayers, so that we can talk, we can come up with one thing, so that how can we approach our colleagues, MRI.
Currently, only 11% of Malawians have access to grid electricity.
Now in international news, Nigerian authorities reopened schools across the country on Monday despite a jump in confirmed cases of COVID-19. But while millions of students are excited to return to classes, health authorities are urging caution. Timothy Obiezu reports from Abuja.
Linguistics student Esther Ajayi had just started her freshman year when COVID-19 hit last year and closed her Abuja school for months. Nigerian authorities allowed schools to reopen this week despite a rise in the number of coronavirus cases.
I feel happy resuming back to school because, to be sincere, it was boring staying at home. So me resuming back to school today, I have the opportunity to meet some of my friends again.
Besides COVID-19, unresolved payment disputes between Nigerian authorities and teachers also delayed school resumption last year, but both parties reached an agreement in December. But not everyone is pleased about the schools reopening. Nigerian health unions say conditions are still too dangerous.
Then you are risking those kids, you're risking the teachers, you're risking the families, and at the end of the day, who are going to suffer is we, the health care providers. We are going to suffer. We have more work on our hands.
Many Abuja schools recorded low attendance this week, days after Nigeria reported its highest daily number of coronavirus infections, over 1,800 cases. School authorities are operating shorter hours and using social media platforms to send lesson notes to students. Every school is expected to create its own student-led COVID-19 task force and monitor students' compliance with measures to prevent the spread of the virus. Muhammad Buhari is the student union president at Zuba College of Education in Abuja.
So they will be in charge to enforce the law of COVID-19 protocol in every school. They will be the one going around to see how the students are doing in the campuses, because staying at home is doing us more harm.
While schools are staying open for now, authorities say they will monitor COVID-19 cases in coming weeks to see if they need to reconsider. Timothy Obiezu for VOA News, Abuja.
And that's the news for now, but before we go, the headlines once again. University of Malawi Council holds a decision to delink its constituent colleges. Experts caution Malawians on use of home remedies in fighting COVID-19.
Your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
Ndilipira. Iyayi ndilipira ndine.
Zidayen mani, leo ndilipira ndine.
Iwe. Mwapitisa kulera? Iniyo ndi mamuna. Osadanda, simungatenge mimba.
Kodi tumapiriswa nda mkazi wanga. Ndimakamutengera ku chipatala.
Osawapanga nawo zimenezi mani. Ife ndi amuna, zakulera zinthu za azimayi.
Ego, umutenge mwanayo. Mtenge.
Chani?
Mesa ndi wako. Watasa kokwana. Nthawi yako nawe umulereko.
Zatere muganizabe kuti sizinzazi mayoka?
Amuna nawo akuyenera kuganiza za njira zolerera. Lankhulani ndi okondedwa wanu ndipo pangani chiganizo chokomera inu nonse.
Purity, ultimate hygiene guaranteed.